good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, the physical delivery of wealth insurance. It is what we do. Gold and silver, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. You got to make it part of your daily routine. The premier site in the industry. Because we keep you educated. So many things, articles, videos, you name it, that we do that are on the website, we never talk about on the air. You know, the program's only an hour, so make sure you go down there, keep yourself educated. You can order online. We got our metals program, and we got all kinds of stuff out there. You spend the whole day out there at allamericangold.com, and just a quick update, the half dollars that we were running earlier this week, late last week, they could be here as early as today. Today, tomorrow, something like that. But once they're here, then I think that's the only thing really we're waiting for. Everything else is in stock and ready to rock and roll for you. Metals programs, if you didn't hear, they're done already. So be looking for yours if you haven't already got it. What else? I think that's about it, right? Am I missing anything, Arlene? No, Arlene's giving me the head shake. Nope, you got it. Okay, so that brings us up to speed there. Man, did it rain a lot here. And relative term, right? A lot of rain for us here in Phoenix. It's very different because we don't really have, streams and creeks, and even our rivers are usually there's nothing in them, right? You know, it's just looks like that was where water used to go, and obviously because we do the reservoir thing and all that, but a lot of our roads, right, where if it does rain, you know, it turns into, I guess, what would be a creek or something somewhere else, a river. River's probably too strong of a word, but we don't care. Yeah, just build the road anyway, and then the roads flood here and all that. Yesterday, I got the horrible, horrible news that you never want to get, which is the roof is leaking. The worst part was, of all the rooms in the house, right, is it leaking in the kitchen, the family room? How about that room that nobody ever goes in? Should it be leaking in that room? How about upstairs? Is it leaking in the kids' room? No. How about the bedroom? Is it the grandma's room? Is it leaking in that room? How about where we have the computer and all that? Is it leaking in? Nope. Leaking in our bedroom. And not only is it leaking in our bedroom, it's leaking right where the bed's supposed to be. So, let's just say that I did not get a great night. Well, first of all, we didn't sleep in our room. So we were in, quote-unquote, Grandma's room. You know, my mom's room. When my mom comes to town, this is the room that she stays in. The kids swear it's haunted. I don't know why. But, yeah, so I'm sleeping in there. And, you know, it's fine. It's actually... I like that bed a lot, so I'm like, hey, okay, not bad. And there's an alarm clock in there, and I made the mistake of actually thinking that this alarm clock with the time that was on it was accurate. It was not. So I was actually a little late to work today, not because I was asleep. And I should have known, right? I'm up, I'm staring at this alarm clock, and I'm like, yeah. It's only 4 o'clock. And then I started to smell food cooking. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm long gone before anybody in this house is awake. I know it's not my son because I don't even think he knows where the stove is. And I'm like, wow, my wife really, she must be starving to make breakfast at 4 a.m., right? Her breakfast is like a cup of coffee. So I get out of bed, and I walk downstairs, and I see all the other clocks that we have Yeah, it wasn't 4 a.m. No. It was like 6 o'clock, and I'm just like, what? And I tell my wife, I've been sitting in bed for I don't even know how long. Why didn't you say something? Well, she's like, hey, there's a clock in there. I thought you knew what was going on. So anyway, I don't know. That was what that has to do with anything. Totally nothing. Just threw me off completely. And now I got a hole in my roof, and hopefully Jack the Roofer is going to be. By the way, if you have a roofing issue, Jack the Roofer, look him up, Google him. He's the best, and he's a customer. So there you go. There's my shameless plug for the day, because it rained. Like I said, not like we've had harder storms, the monsoon stuff, but just for a long time. It rained for hours on it. It rained for 30 minutes, stopped for 30 minutes, and then rain again and stop rain again. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are hoping. Of course, let's face it, the one time you need a roofer is the one time everybody else in the city needs one. So anyway, we'll get to the news. A lot of things to talk about today. We had a lot more of that quote-unquote soft data. And then, by the way, we had a big surge in interest rates. The 30-year, the 10-year, the 7-year, the 5-year, the 2-year notes hitting the highest in the last 7 years. I got news for you. They're going to be going higher. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. We've got a little bit of a mixed market this morning. Silver's higher, $14.75. Gold is lower, about $1,200. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So, we've got some data, and it's all soft data. And what I mean by that is it doesn't mean anything. Sorry, just doesn't. Depends on who you talk to, right? If you call a bunch of Republicans, you're going to get one answer. You call a bunch of Democrats, you're going to get another. But I want to share with you, and I'll just tell you, they want to. This is probably the best indication of where we're really going. And what I mean by that, and I've talked to you, can't tell you how many times. All of your money's surrounded. All of it. But you're not alone. And remember, when they come out and they pass laws, and they come out and they tell you, we did it for you, more than likely, the exact opposite is true. Right? The Patriot Act. Was that for us, or was it for them? Right? Think about Dodd-Frank. Think about Too Big to Fail. Was that for us, or was that for them? I got in the mail yesterday a AML compliance questionnaire. It was sent to me by the Bullion Bank. Now you're like, what does AML mean? For those of you that don't know, that is the anti-money laundering rules, right? AML, anti-money laundering. See, because let's face it, anybody that uses cash, or heaven forbid, would like to protect their financial well-being, you fall in to this little deal. The anti-money laundering compliance. Now, this came about with the Patriot Act. See, because let's face it, it's a well-known fact that terrorists are all over the gold and silver industry, right? I mean, we know that. I mean, it's just, again, what it appears to be and what they tell you it is and what it actually is are two different things. Because nobody in the right mind, do we want money launderers? Of course not. But this isn't what this is. So anyway, there's a little note attached to it. So it's a packet. And it just says, please fill out this form entirely and return it as soon as possible. They do say thank you. So I wanted to go over the anti-money laundering compliance questionnaire, okay? Because this is coming everywhere. Cash is going to go away. I'm hopeful because this is how I make my life, that you'll still be able to buy precious metals in the future. The first section is the general business information, which is so funny. They already have. But anyway, again, they want to know the name of my business and the address. They want to know my email address. They want to know the company's web address. Apparently, they don't listen to the show because I give it out all the time. The major business activities and the name of the anti-money laundering compliance officer, which we have. We do. Because it's part of the law. We've got a folder right here in the office in case some terrorist walks through the door and we need to get his information. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Terrorist, can you fill this form out for me? Then it says the names of all owners and or officers of the business. And you're starting to go, wow, why don't we just give us all your employees as well? That'll be next, right? The next one of these will have that. Used to be they wanted the business name and address and the name of the compliance officer. That's what it used to be. So you can see that it's starting to grow. The next one, the AML, and again, AML, Anti-Money Laundering Policies and Procedures Manual. And they have yes, no, and NA. It's like a multiple choice. Does your business have a designated compliance officer responsible for the overall AML program? If yes, please provide. And it says the complete name. I guess they want the middle name and all that. I don't know. Now, of course, they just asked for that person's name in the section above. But again, the mailing address of the person, if it's different than the business address, and the phone number. Please note, it says, an AML program consists of the following four minimum requirements: development and implementation of internal policies, procedures, and control. Yes, an anti-money laundering plan. Designation of a compliance officer. An ongoing training program. You have to do this every year, so I train myself every year. And, now this is new. So these first ones, we had this, right? When the Patriot Act came out, we set up a folder. At the time, both Eric and I were part of the compliance team. Now it's just me and really Wendy. an ongoing training program. We talk about it. In this business, we talk about fraud, unfortunately, probably every month. And we do probably once a year just remind everybody that we have a folder. We've actually, Arlene, we've showed it to my wife. But now it's gone a step further. An annual independent audit review of all anti-money laundering programs in place. In other words, the Bullion Bank is saying to me, if you'd like to keep buying from us, you need to have an independent person come in and review your anti-money laundering program. An AML plan is not your program, it says. It's in bold, note, with a bunch of little stars. But only one of the four minimum requirements of the actual program. In other words, hey, we've got a plan. That's not enough. No. You've got to have all this other stuff. Then the next one. Does your business have a written and implemented AML plan, which includes policies and procedures along with a manual? Yes. Yep. Got to type up a big money laundering manual with a compliance officer. And again, this is like the fifth time about the compliance officer. That person is responsible for coordinating and overseeing the program and ensuring the company remains compliant with Section 352 of the U.S. Patriot Act. Now, here's the thing. We do have the policy about this. I don't have a quote-unquote manual, but don't worry. I'm sure I can go buy one, right? You see my point. Does your business have an annual independent audit review conducted by an independent third party that assesses the practices and procedures? Again, right? We are I would like to believe a typical small business. I've got a handful of employees, and there can't be, if I throw in Arlene and Wendy and Jason and Brian, we've got like 5 people here. But again, that's not what this is really about. When we first had to do, we didn't have to do, listen, the Patriot Act has been around for what? 16 years? Something like that? It came in after 9/11, so, 2001, 2002, probably 2002, I'm not sure, but, somewhere between, let's say 15 to 17 years. Never gotten one of these before. No, this is brand new. And every couple of years, we get the same thing, right? The same thing was used for no third-party checks. Now, today, banks use this to say, hey, you can't even put cash into accounts that your name's not on. Well, I want to put it in my son's account. I don't care. Nope. Are you on this account? Well, if not, you know what? We want your ID. We want your Social Security number. We want the name of everybody you've ever talked to in your whole world. I'm putting $20 in my son's account. Sorry, got to do it. Does your business provide training to relevant employees who deal with customers, who receive payments, are responsible for filing cash reporting forms? And then they say the training should include identification and reporting of transactions that must be reported to government authorities. An example, they only give one. Guess what example they gave? Any guesses? Cash. Yep. You evildoers out there. I know all of you are money launderers. I know it. It's ridiculous. Right? Hey, President Trump, can we please get rid of this nonsense? But see, it's not about cash. It's not about bad guys. It's not about terrorists or drug dealers. They're just getting you ready. Right? Less and less cash, so when they take it away, it's not that big of a deal. And trust me, it's obviously coming much sooner than I think. Right? I still think that the debt's going to be $40 trillion and we're not going to get rid of cash. We probably are. Because listen, I'm only on page 2. (800-951-0592) Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, and we're upholding the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly, a constitutional attorney and articulate voice for traditional values for more than 70 years. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Charles and David Koch's recent semi-annual conference for ineffective muckety-mucks turned into an unhelpful bashing of President Trump a mere 100 days before the midterm elections. A top spokesman for Koch accused Trump of being too divisive, ignoring the ridiculous Democrat antics that have ruled headlines for months. The Kochs are apparently ready to stand against Trump-style conservatives in favor of Democrat candidates across the country. At the conclusion of the Koch's conference, the Koch network declared they would not support Republican Senate candidate in North Dakota, Kevin Cramer, who has a chance to oust a Democrat incumbent and preserve GOP control in the Senate. To the dismay of conservatives, a Koch organization has already run ads promoting the pro-abortion Democrat incumbent in North Dakota. In Pennsylvania, Koch money is funding ads against the pro-life Republican Lou Barletta, who is challenging the entrenched liberal Democrat Bob Casey Jr. for a Senate seat. As Republicans struggle to hold the Senate, this shocking betrayal by the Koch network should cause all conservatives to cut Koch ties. Still, some in Congress lose sight of principle and grassroots campaigning for the allure of dollar signs. Congressman Kevin Yoder, Republican of Kansas, might think that pushing the Koch agenda boosts his campaign coffers, but Republicans still need the base to win. And all the money in the world may not salvage a Republican who crosses Trump on immigration or trade, as many in Congress are doing now. Yoder might learn a lesson from fellow Kansas Congressman Tim Huelskamp, who was a rising conservative star until he went for the Koch's peculiar resistance to farmers. Huelskamp was defeated in his own primary in 2016, outspent by his opponent, despite how the Koch network brags about spending so much money. Republicans, be warned, don't go soft on immigration to please big donors. The Kochs can't be trusted. Stick to the basics of the conservative message, and you'll see victory on November 6th.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. What's the best way to rekindle the spirit of Phyllis Schlafly and the grassroots movement she energized? In this digital age, patriots and pro-family Americans can find insight and inspiration on our website, phyllisschlafly.com. Then share your own heart and mind on social media. So join us at phyllisschlafly.com and every weekday for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. I'm reading to you the packet that was sent to us by the Bullion Bank for all you evildoers out there, pertaining to Section 352 of the Patriot Act, and filling out how in compliance we are. So to pick up, I want to go through and finish on and tell you all the things that they want to make sure we have. So we just finished with the identification and reporting of transaction that must be reported to government authorities. They listed a whopping one example: cash. Again, we've had the Patriot Act for how many years, but it's growing. Followed by examples of different forms of money laundering involving your products/services. I don't know what I'm supposed to even put here. But they would like me to provide them examples of different forms of money laundering. Again, I guess the government wants me to do their job for them. By the way, list any of the other things you can possibly think of. Because, let's face it, we all know that everybody's a money launderer out there. Notice how well, I'll get to it in a minute, but so far they haven't even mentioned the T word. But somebody figured it out, because they do on the next page. But so far, right, no one's even mentioned it. Internal policies to prevent money laundering. Yeah. And or structuring of cash or cash equivalent transactions. Now, I'm not sure what a cash equivalent transaction even is. Right? I don't know. Right? We've only been in business for 23. I'm not sure what that even means. Obviously, the cash part I understand. Again, you evildoers out there, please list the name, the address, the phone number, and the relationship of the person who conducts the independent audit review and the date of the most recent independent audit report. Now, didn't even know I had to do that. So guess what I'm going to have to do? Yep. Got to have to call, I don't even know who to call. Right, here would be the fun. I'm not even sure that even exists yet. Somebody out there has probably figured out, I can make a bunch of money. I don't even want to know what that's going to cost. But I love what they want, right? The name, the address, the phone number. Oh, and who's that person? What's your relationship? My mom said I'm okay. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Please provide a copy of your plan, the most recent independent audit report, right? And I'm not reading the same. This is another line here. We would like it electronically if you can. And then they let me know, and by the way, this is bold and underlined, so it must be true. These documents will be kept within the business and completely confidential. See, don't worry. Well, you want me to email them to you. So first of all, they're not just in the business, obviously. But it'll be confidential right up until some Google or Apple or some hacker from Korea takes them. Are your business policies and procedures being applied to all your locations? I guess they got to add. No, we only do it at this one, but not the other one. Does your business have written policies and procedures that you have in place to prevent and detect any suspicious transactions and or, here you go, terrorist financing activities? Hey, they finally got to it. Right? We better throw that in there real quick so we got some cover, because Yeah, listen, if you're a terrorist, I'm just saying this now, I'm going to put this in my policy. Do not do business with us. We don't want your business. All you terrorists out there, don't call me. Obviously, what do they want me to do? Do you understand where they're going? Hey, we want you to stop taking cash, period. Right? That's what they want. And even if I did, okay, let's just say I did, not taking it anymore, I still have to do all of this stuff. Doesn't mean I get to stop. I wonder if why just my business? Well, it's not just me, right? But you know where I'm going. Does your business have policies and procedures in place for monitoring and reporting suspicious activity? Hey, this guy's suspicious. He came in here and told me he was a terrorist when he was buying. If so, please describe those procedures. Hey, by the way, this is the first. Hey, if it's in your plan, you can just say it's in your plan. Does your business have written policies and procedures pertaining to the creation and retention of records? Wow. So now we're going way beyond, is this guy a terrorist? Hey, tell us about your records. Does your business have an annual independent audit review conducted? This is like the 8th time. And see, and this is what they do over and over and over. Has you ever had an adverse finding? And if so, please indicate in a detailed statement. Where cash transaction reporting is mandatory, does your business have policies to identify structured transactions? Right, remember the people that were getting in trouble and the IRS was seizing their accounts because they were putting cash in every day, but it wasn't over 10 grand? Right now, allegedly, they told us, okay, that was kind of ridiculous, and you can do that now. But now I'm not so sure. Patriot Radio News Hour, I'm going to finish up with the last of the AML compliance reporting.
I do not know anything about any money laundering.
I know nothing. I don't know if I'm hoping you're enjoying it. I do. I don't know. I don't know if this is good or bad. It's so ridiculous. Now, let's face it. I could understand if I owned learn how to fly an airplane, right? If I'm over here at the Deer Valley Air Park and they train these pilots from overseas at infinitum, I could understand, hey, you got to have stuff in place like terrorist prevention stuff, because they flew a bunch of planes into buildings. I've never, ever, ever heard of any type of terrorist thing that, hey, I was buying some gold and silver. I was buying some wealth protection, and it was ties to terror. I haven't heard of it. Have you? But yet here we are. This one, it gets better. This page here, I actually didn't even know what half this stuff was. Know your customer and enhanced due diligence. Does your business have written policies and procedures as it pertains to customer identification? And they use the acronym CIP. I never heard of CIP. So I had to look it up because I didn't know what it meant. And it stands for Customer Identification Program. Yes, I need a customer identification program. I don't know what it is, but I guess I need one. So when you call me up and I say, hey, what's your name? Does that count? Is that part of the, what's the address? I don't know. Identity verification. Again, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to assume that they're an actual person. Right? Because they placed an order and they actually sent me the money. So I'm going to assume they're a person. I don't know. Maybe it's like the when you hire somebody now, right? You got to go and make sure they're not an illegal alien. So I don't know when. So if you call and we ask you to verify your identity, please say yes. I'm a person. I'm not. I'll get back to you. Know your customer. Right, and I guess I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm asking, does Amazon have to do this? Well, do you know that person? Amazon? Oh no, it's not for you. Oh, you don't have to know them. I don't. What is that? Are we? I know. You know what? Here's what I'm going to take this as. You need to take me to lunch, and you buy it for me, so we can get to know each other. Again, I don't know. I'm just telling you what it says. And they weren't done. And enhanced due diligence. I'm not sure. You know what? Maybe when you take me to lunch, you'll have to hand over your wallet or your purse, and I'll go through it. And we'll call that. Maybe I need to go to your house and look around. Maybe I should shut up. I don't want to give these guys any ideas. Does your business have procedures for creating files on your new customers containing identification / know your customer document? Yeah. I don't. Again, I'm not sure what I even would put in there, but this is what it says. Does your business conduct ongoing due diligence throughout the relationship? Hey, listen, I know you took me out to lunch last. You know what? It's time again. Hey, Mr. Schmuckatelli, it's Joe and Patriot. Hey, I got to do some ongoing due diligence. You ready to buy me lunch again? I'm going to. Do I surveil your house? I don't know. And ensure that customer files for information is up to date. Okay. Yeah. Here's the problem. We don't call any of our customers. Yeah, they're only up to date if they ever order again. I don't know. Does your business conduct enhanced due diligence on your higher risk accounts? I'm not sure what a high risk account is. Again, I guess if you told me you were a terrorist, I'm going to put you in there. I don't. Again, I have to do this. I've got to fill this out. Or I'm assuming if I don't do this, they're going to tell me I can't order from them anymore. I'm sure of it. Does your business take steps to understand the normal and expected transactions of your customers? Yeah. We're going to finish with my AML training packet when we return. 800-951-0592. Yeah, I don't even... Again, it's just a matter of time. This is nothing more than simply going after cash and the people that use it. Notice, here it is. Remember, this was the Patriot Act. And this whole thing, they mentioned the word terrorist once. This thing is littered with cash. And we need to know everything about every customer you have, regardless if they're using cash. Does your business screen new customers against lists issued by government authorities? Am I supposed to get the TSA? Hey, you're not allowed to board an airplane. I'm sorry. You can't do business. I don't know what else to do but laugh. Does your business have procedures to ensure that your existing customers do not subsequently appear on the OFAC list? Didn't know what that list was. Let me tell you what it means. Office of Foreign Asset Control. There's more. There's more. But this came in the mail yesterday. Again, I told you where it came from. And I'm telling you what's coming. I don't know when. I don't. But as I told you, and I've been telling you, 2018 was inning one of the big debt bubble. And here's the funny part. The debt was $5 trillion in 2001, 2002. It's now approaching, we'll round up. It's now $22 trillion. You know, do some math. They're like, okay, 22 minus 5. Let me take out my figures. That's 17. Wait a minute, that's 17 years ago. So we've already been adding $1 trillion a year for 17 years on average. That wasn't the debt bubble. It's just getting started. And every couple of years, right now, remember, last year it was the whole putting cash. Remember, was it earlier this year or was it last year, Arlene? We're not like Arlene. Arlene doesn't put cash in our bank account at Patriot. Even though she did. Arlene's worked here for 2-3 years. Everybody at the bank knows her. But if she does, she's got to give them the driver's license, her address, her social security number. Walmart doesn't have to do that, just us. And now this. Get your orders in. You know what? We're out of time. I've got some good things available. Call us, 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back tomorrow.